Beware of the one called the Man of Glass. Stand in his way, and you'll meet a fate worse than death. Seek salvation in glass that can't be broken.
A meeting at a crossroads. A wish. A pact signed in blood. And a price to be paid.
Game over.
There is always a crossroads, a meeting in moonlight, and a bargain struck. And in its culmination, a battle of wits and trickery. By Odim's reckoning, a great and true adventure. An experience like no other. But taking a pact with Gaunter Odim is to walk blindly onto a tightrope across a vast ravine. There are no do-overs or amendments to be made.
Small print, which, nevertheless, changes the ultimate meaning of the pact.
He sets the rules, and he does not cheat. But in a world in which you control its players and its setting, is it all that much of a fair game? There is more than meets the eye with Odim, something which he clearly revels in. The mystery of it all. What is he? Where did he come from? What manner of evil is this? All questions that fall on deaf ears. For Gaunter Odim is not out to explain himself. He is only interested in one thing. A great game, and the prize that waits at its journey's end. Human souls. He certainly doesn't like people talking about him. He tends to pay them a visit. But I'll take my chances. We read in the Lesser Key of Solomon, a book on demonology and other such matters, that an evil wears many faces and appears in many different forms. One of them wears the skin of flesh. This evil incarnated as man travels the world sowing death and suffering. Such evil is devious and difficult to discern.
Odim grants what you wish, not what you want. All who sign a pact learn the difference and die by it.
We usually only note its presence when it's already too late. It would appear the nature of Odim is that of evil, a true and prime evil at that. What manner of demon he is unclear, or if he is something far beyond that category entirely. However, demon is the only thing that can aptly describe him, so we will stick to that, lest we call him the devil himself. Odim delights in playing cruel games of fate with his victims. Much like a puppeteer, once his strings are on you, it is incredibly difficult to cut loose. It is unclear to us how exactly Master Mirror controls certain laws of nature, and has such a deft hand with twisting and weaving fates. Perhaps it is some grand illusion that only affects those that enter contracts with him.
Oh, please, no. I cannot stand spells.
Except for the fact that his manipulations are felt by every human around.
Quite simply, I know a lot about everything.
We see him summon storms to shipwreck boats, walk on the air, display detailed knowledge of one's mind and wishes, forge planes of existence for his victims to inhabit, disguise himself as others. And finally, perhaps the most frightening, the ability to control time. The game can hardly be fair if you can stop the clocks. He certainly loves a riddle, and is a stickler for the correct wording. We can see this with one of his many victims. Marlene de Trastamara was renowned for her great engagements and parties in the Duchy of Toussaint. One day a beggar seeking alms came by, but was refused. Odim spoke the curse.
None shall sit and dine with you at your table. No spoon you have shall sate you. Never again shall you wish to spy your reflection in the mirror.
He broke a spoon, and it was so. Marlene was only freed from her grotesque form hundreds of years later, and had not a drop to drink or a bite to eat. It shows O'Dim has been frequenting humans for centuries, and perhaps longer. He sees no greater pleasure.
In brief, I give folk what they ask for. You might say, I simply grant their wishes.
There is one more example of O'Dim's strange and incomprehensible powers, aside from controlling his favourite dimension, that of time. We see Professor Shakeslock hired to learn all he can about O'Dim, and he does, but at a cost. Simply reading about Master Mirror made him blind. Furthermore, when O'Dim paid him a visit, he imprisoned Shakeslock inside a circle of protection. And if he ever misplaced a single foot outside, he would die. O'Dim toyed with him, entering his dreams, creating a fictional daughter in which he grew to love, and then, after months of sweet dreams, took her away. Shakeslock watched her fester with disease, and he deepened into madness. Pray you do not cross paths with this master of tricks, and pray you do not become one of his many marked puppets, for the game is rigged against you, and the creature that draws nearer and nearer to your soul will not leave empty-handed.
I so don't feel like going anywhere. Sit here a while longer?